Zambia Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show, one of the most anticipated shows of this year, if I may say that. It is June 11th. Welcome to Zambia Blog Talk Radio, wherever you are joining us from. Good afternoon, Europe. Good afternoon, Zambia. I'm told Dimpe Pona Emilo Polech Peshamano, but I'm sure you can handle it. Those things do happen. You'll be just fine. Good evening, Australia and the Pacific world and all those parts of the world. And like we say in these parts of the continent and the world, good morning, America. Well, we are on today. Like we always say, please share the link with your friends and let them know that Zambia Blog Talk Radio is on live. All right, we had a situation happen in the global community, and it has created a firestorm across the world, and this is what we are going to be talking about here this morning as I get ready to introduce my guests and my co-hosts as we go along here with this wonderful discussion. Please tell everybody that Dr. Naomi is on, Mama Chika Monica is on, Chipasha, one of Zambia's brilliant lawyers, is coming on, and we are going to have a great show and a great discussion. All right, let me introduce my co-host, Mr. K. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Uncle Nathan?
Doing fine. You people in Zambia, Mulech Tafe complain Pampepo. What's this about?
It's getting quite cold. It's
getting quite cold.
Yeah.
You think you can compare Nigeria snow Momona in other parts of the world?
Definitely we can't.
No,
that's on a different
level. Are you ready for this?
Very much ready.
Okay, I hope you won't get stoned there. I'm here, nobody can touch me. I can say anything I want. But you, Chipasha, Mayo, Chika Monica, whatever you are saying, you go everybody, you need to get ready for this. We are about to launch and to jump into this discussion. Our topic today, as you can see behind me, part of the words are covered, but it's fashion, tradition, and constitutional rights. That's what we're going to be talking about. My first guest this morning is Dr. Naomi Nyendwa. She's an ordained minister with the United Church of Christ, and she's also a chaplain at Baylor University Medical Center. I simply call her Mayo because she's mother to a great friend of mine. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, and good morning, America. Good morning, world. Or good afternoon, good evening.
All right. Yes. And we have a brilliant young lawyer with us. And before she's already blushing. Hi, Chipasha, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are
You
you,
didn't
sir?
I didn't get to know what type of law you practice and what organization you work with.
Well, I work for JMK and Company,
Mhm.
and currently I have not majored into any form of practice,
Okay.
but I'm just doing general practice. But I'm hoping that at the end of this year, when I get my master's degree, I will major into commercial law. For now,
All right.
I'm a general practitioner. Yes.
That's excellent. So Chipasha is here just to help us with some constitutional issues. She's not a constitutional lawyer, but she's a general practitioner, like she has said. So she's able to address anything legal rather than me and the Kasulova who have no clue here. All right, and finally, what do they say? Our final guest today, and we are so honored to have her with us, is Mama Mary Chikamoneka. Mayo, Maisen.
She's muted.
She can't hear me. Mayo. Hello, ma'am.
Nami posha bonse mwe bali papaneo ubushiku bwa lelo bwabo obwansansa sana na posha na bonse abali kubula yabalepemo omwelo wasuswa nati mwapoleni mkwai.
Maisen, Mayo. You sound like you're from Mporokoso. I don't know which part of where they are. Then Mporokoso and then Sosero Shamsangwe. All right, everybody, welcome to the show, wherever you are. Hello, Europe. We see you there. Thank you for joining us, and our faithful listening and following audience all over the world. We do appreciate you being here. Fashion, tradition, and constitutional rights. I'll start with Mama Chikamoneka. Your name, Mayo, to most Zambians, the name Chikamoneka is synonymous with the famous freedom fighter Mama Chikamoneka, and everybody. This is a question most people send to me. Like, how related she is to the freedom fighter Mama Chikamoneka.
Now from kwai, if you mwai pusho kutila bushema Mama Chikamoneka mwaliba related na ba late Julia Chikamoneka. Nshaba related na ba Julia Chikamoneka na ineshina lyabu Chikamoneka na perwe lishina ilio na liumwa iche kume bosho ilio na temeno kupokelela bakaunda nga baisa elo banjini kakuli ba headmistress abali pame bosho secondary school kulwa Pula province ba Mrs. Musongole bali lienshita ali mu form 3 bale njitati Mama Chikamoneka pa school. So ilishina ilio lyaisa tumbuka mchalo cha Zambia umulandu wafyo nchita ifya lekana elio nomba abana baba Julia Chikamoneka bali umfuile bali ntumini amafoni na libalondolwela ifye Mama Chikamoneka ilio na balondolwela mkwai bali chipokelela pakalambanga nchi no kunje bokutila twala tampo okubombela chapamo ndesubira nasuka mkwai peshina lyaba Julia Chikamoneka balanda timpiana ngo apiana na mabala bali mfuika bu Julia Chikamoneka kubana babo.
For those listening, Mama Chikamoneka did ask me if she could express herself in Zambia's language, which is free, and I told her that's fine. So just relax and enjoy the show. The next question I wanted to ask you is, tell us about your work in organization Muwomba na yoko Ditwikatane. Kutimu alondorela kwabale onfwe minimum Muwomba ndi akabungwe ka Twikatane, what it's about.
Kwena akakabungwe ka Twikatane NGO teka bungwe ka kwa Mama Chikamoneka iyo. Akakabungwe ka alikuwa tabe na ma-founders ku Germany.
Okay.
Ineba isambika mofienga na China director mobilization uwa Twikatane NGO. Na alikuwa temilimo yandeyo mbomba Mzambia iya kumona abana bakashane fyo bekele okufya.
Okay.
Okufya abana ba Mzambia no kufunda abana emikalire isuma nemichitire isuma nemyendere isuma. Twikatane NGO yali banabene aba ku Germany.
All right, that's into that. Dr. Nyendwa.
Ndesubira nasuka mkwai.
Iona Masuka. Dr. Nyendwa, you've heard what Mama Chikamonika said. The work of Twikatane is helping.
Bushena bangu fefyon sosera mkwai.
Natumfa. The work that Mama Chikamonika does through Twikatane and the organization. What is the role of our Chimbusa in our Christian community, our Christian nation? Somebody said to me, "Chimbusa are relevant in our time." Could you respond to that, Dr. Nyendwa?
Yes, I would gladly respond to that. Since my going to seminary, I've come to appreciate our Zambian culture and especially the Ubuntu. In fact, I'm one person in college that has been advocating for Ubuntu, and even my thesis was also written, my credo rather, when I was talking about my faith, I talked about Ubuntu and how our forefathers passed it to us certain very rich traditions that we follow as Zambians.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So
in short, Bama Chikamoneka and other Ifimbusa, traditional Ifimbusa or traditional counselors, they are very, very important in our nation, Zambia, because they help to shape the character of the young ones.
Excellent, excellent. I want to play a video, but I want to make sure she's here before I play that video. Chipasha, have you had any interactions with the Chimbusas? Okay, here she comes. Okay. Yeah, I want you to comment briefly on that. Have you had any interactions with Ivana Chimbusa in any form or short form or shape? Chipasha, you're on mute. Okay, let me play this video clip, and I want you all to respond to this. Something happened in the country, and the community responded. Mama Chikamonika is one of those that responded. First, I'll play the video, and then I will show you what Mama Chikamonika was responding to. Here we go.
In the name of Windalama. Nga mulefayo kusanguka bafilende Babylon twala mipangiro omusumba wenu wakuti muleshala mufyo obuneke mweka noti muikale mu musumba omuli Mama Chikamoneka abo mulesha matako pansi emo mule banunuko ubisana baimwe ba banununu na imwe ba banununu na imwe ba banunuka ilya pono wakite bakulonga maseozi ilya pornography ilya pono bakulekela ko yena tulekulopola FF coach kumatako bana mayo bonse Zambia tukakulopola FF coach kumatako wala kuimina chilende Babylon musumba wala ona ulo musumba uli musuma sana wakati ule tuchusha abasuma bene tabafwala tabeno gwamba take me wherever you want. You are very stupid, useless, pompolyong nyangala kat umbafu tatuamile keleshe mule fula mchalo mwala ona ula generation ile isa mwala ona ula new generation must find a better Zambia, not new generation isa isange bafilende nombelo bakunkuma mwali kunkuma enson pamensota mwakwata bafilende imwe baona wile Babylon muri 7 days apa Zambia mwali ona ula muri 7 years baputimwe bakalingongo bakabwani sekete bachenda bwamba bakatiete mwenda mwalimwa mwenda fya muri bamukabe ni abampia eto na miti lati bakatiete mwenda mwalimwa abeneko bale chulira bakashina balume kulalala pamasaka no chumo ko bafumisha tamwachishira imwe bakatiete mwenda mwalimwa mwaisa mukwenda mofye ukulalienda lamesha lutu eneko bale chulira bakashina balume ukulalala pamasaka no chumo ko bafumisha tamwachishira imwe bakatiete mwenda mwalimwa.
Okay, that's very deep language right there. Chipasha is laughing. Did you understand what she was saying? Okay, here's the point. Mama Chikamonika did that in response to this. This is what happened. Okay, let me show you. I'm trying to look for what I want you all to see, why she responded the way she did. And then we shall continue with our discussion. All right, where is that? This is what Mama Chikamonika responded to. In case you didn't know, the reason I'm showing this is some of you watching this show may not be aware of this happening. Okay, this is what this is. I told you that this is an R-rated show, so if you watch with your children, make sure that the kids are not anywhere close. Mayo, tulondololenko what you were saying. If you mwarela ndamuli video clip it.
Namona video idia nalandile pali Iris Kayingu yali amashiwi yonse yonalebo mfya nalolesha kutoba kwefunde Iris Kayingu atobele mchalo cha Zambia pantu teka festi yo chiliye chibemba chonse nalelanda chibemba chakumye skulu wa Plantondo kuchalo cha busako kwa pile sembyo mupini wa shala kumye skulu wa pula kwa diva intambisho tukonka nangula ntile fye chalo cha Zambia chali kwa tentambi isho chikonka
mkwai
eno chila mtundu yali kwa tefibemba yali kwa tamapinda kumye skulu wa Plantondo kwa libe fibemba if yumfuika kwa tininsele kuchalo lelo mapinda filie fibemba filo mfuiko bubi mu matu y'abantu bati filie fibemba bakalambelo baleshike fibemba kale ba mama baleshike fibemba omulandu wa kutila ati umuntu ngatale umfwa umwana kashumwa no mukashana ngatale umfwa ba mama baletwe bati ngatale umfwa Maria amashina yandidi ne bomeri bwali ngata wa konfefyo bakalala kubakalamba mchalo Maria bali no kukwindika mashina yengi ayo tawakatemwe ero ayo mashina bakala kuitira paluangala kati paluelele pantu nishita ukwete amatwi aya kumfwa filia fibemba na bonfeshe Iris Kayingu ni filia fibemba ba bonfesha abana bali abakutilanga mwamufunda lero mairwa bwekesha mwamufunda lero mairwa bwekesha umwananga mwamufunde ni ku 510 ichi ashala nomba kumwebera pachintu bwingi pantu limbielo engo mfwa filie fibemba na lela ndaba na fiansuleni ba Babyloni misumba nkalamba ba filende ba finokole ba beula satana ama ule ya chomba ya ndala ya kunkuma pantu umwana fyo mutunturu mchalo chesu cha Zambia uwa pita kuifunde uwa ishiwa nentambisha chalo cha Zambia tete aya shari ogwamba paluangala kati ninsha sebanya ne wikeri hapo asebanya na baloya benyabo bekeri hapo asebanya na bafyashi bonse abana kashaba lipapane pantu na mayo mufyashi wacha mwe ochonse na mayo bubumbo bwakwe fyo kwamba muri Bible bubumbo bwa chindama nebyo lesale panga na mayo alifishile kuli Adam chali chafiswa tete aya shari oguneke paluangala kati umuli na bana mayo abakalamba twabatambafye pantu balanda timputi isula taibula kubwekeshapo imputi isula chiletuka na chibemba nganshilandile na kabiri bakabwekeshapo elo umulandunga upitile pamputi na iwofuile wapita pamputi fibemba temusalula iyo fibemba fyakwesu kulwa Plantondo kuchalo cha Busaka so ababa nefi bale chitabena Iris ukulafula echili chibemba balanda ngata atilimbule ni sansa talila limbe mishila pantu isansa ngali alimbe mishila pakunukula chikashupa aba bachinkala bwamba bachenda bwamba nga baba 100 muzambia musumba wa Zambia walawa tufile tu achingililo bubu afya umuntu wemota usalanda ba human rights tabakwani shebeka ukukontrola babana
Mayo, Bushara human rights, bali chita respond to this.
Tabatala bachita respond. Kaidi na mumona, mukukana chita respond na mailo umbiali ifula. so aba bantu bali abalefulirako so inepakulanda yali amashwifiri efibe mbatensele iyo amapinda yalya mulandu namono kutila obubuwelewele nangulo obupuba nangubunangwa nangubudobyo bwala twalirira mu kyalo kyeswi kya Zambia libe nishimuli n'abana mayo abakalambanga ine abashinga temo kumona omwana kashi umufyashi wacha mwe ochonse ukufuma ba president nikulina mayo ekufuma bashima pepo nikulina mayo ububumbo bonse ubwa muisamba lya cyalo bufuma kulina mayo so na mayo chibumbwa chimo ichakuchindika tekutilo omwana kashi esa shale fyobwamba palwangala kati ukwisala ngefya afisama palwangala kati ninshi naye ato befunde lya cyalo ato banefunde aikala pansa mbusha bashitata pantu onse shitata wala lengera buyobwamba nishala ba disturbed taikale bwino nishi naye naona ulensa mbusha baume kwena echa
yeah iyo kwena ma I hope Dr. Munsanja is understanding what Mama Chika Monica is saying. Mayo nalikata ko babrulu banja batonga swebondela ndata I hope bale umfusho mulelanda.
Napakulanda ati kuli babrulu benu abatonga bashireo. Ine I was married to a Tonga man. Na alikwata na 6 na batonga. They are very good people.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. Mamfa, there you go. Clotilda, there you go. She's your relative. Dr. Yenwa, before Chipasha comes in and gives us what the Constitution of Zambia says about all this, this is, I know you understand what Mama Chika Monica is saying. You understand.
Exactly, I do.
Here is there were 2 reactions, Mayo, to both of you, my mothers. There were 2 reactions for social media. Number 1, I want you to respond to this. One reaction was Mama Chika Monica is imposing our moral values or standards on people. Number 1. Number 2, the other reaction was instead of her being a mother to Iris, I don't know what your response to that is.
Okay. I'll be very careful in my response in that I respect Mama Chika Monica a lot, and both of us can work together to shape the nation of Zambia. But I'm going to speak from the perspective of a Christian, and also from a perspective of a Christian counselor, a chaplain. You know, first of all, ndefo kuchita address umwana wandi Iris. Iris, I want to talk to you the way I talk to my daughters. That you are a diamond, a ruby, and an emerald. You are not a cheap stone. Cheap stones, you can find them in the streets and you can be kicking it even as you are walking. In order to find a diamond, a ruby, or an emerald, one has to excavate, one has to dig, one has to discover. So don't degrade yourself from that value of a diamond, a ruby, and an emerald to that of a common stone. Because a woman is meant to be discovered. A woman's body is meant to be discovered in the bedroom by her husband. So if you are going to let your body be seen by people, what is there to be discovered when you get married? So that is how I want to address my daughter. I want to tell you that you are very, very precious. You are a diamond, you are a ruby, you are an emerald, and I want you to start behaving as such. And today, I want to adopt you as a mother. I want you to start calling me and communicating with me. I want to be of help to you. Now that I've spoken to Iris, I want to just speak generally. You know, I want to use the example. I want to speak not generally, I'm sorry, but from a Christian perspective. You know, when Jesus Christ found, they brought that woman that they were about to stone because she had committed adultery. And when they brought her to Jesus, they maybe expected Jesus Christ to affirm what they were doing, to say, yes, according to the law, you are supposed to stone her to death.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus Christ did not do that. Instead, Jesus said, he who has no sin, let that person be the first to throw the stone. The key word here is compassion. So one thing is, in seminary, I learned about mental health. So what I see in my daughter Iris, is that she is crying out for help. Mama nga mwamona omwana firia nisharerila alefayo bwafuilisho mulandu wakwe bati, there must be a story behind that. Teti tuishibe limpi, she could be a victim of child abuse, incest, or even rape. If you feel to feel on our it takes away their dignity, and they end up. I'm not saying these things happened to her. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that abana pitamuri finga bakula they see themselves as very insane de la dignity kale. So I will be anything I want to be. But I want to speak to all my daughters in Zambia. Whether if you feel kuchitikire kubwaiche or not, Jesus Christ is the restorer. You can be restored back to that dignity. Don't let those people that abused you to keep destroying your life. You know, you can be a better self. You can be a better person. So from the Christian perspective, instead of us ukumukaripila kwati tulemu shauta kwati kumutuka tufiro kumupalamika isakuno mwana wantikala apa ero tuwatampa okulamufunda bwino ifyo afiro kwikala pachalo. That is my take on this one. So what I'm saying is, she needs help. We need to hear her story. So the key word is compassion. Okay. Jesus Christ showed compassion. Kuri uria namayo baikete barefokwe bati stone. They wanted to stone her to death, but Jesus Christ saved her life. So even us, let us not stone Iris, but let us show compassion to her. That is my take.
Before I let Chipasha respond and help us understand what the Constitution says about this, Bama yochika Monica mulefo kuposa popafyo bama manyendo abalanda.
Yes. Mkwai ndefo kuposa po mkwai elo bangu fuikishe sana. Icha number one. Icho nalalanda chakutila ati uliana mayo uwa mu Bible o Yesu Kristo alandetinga kuli ushabe embuka abuli amabwato be muri uyu na mayo bushe uliana mayo ali uwamba nangu alifueli eli pishona na bepisha elo chimbi ukulolekesha na filiana chilando kutila mapinda uliate musalu latensele iyo mapinda eyo nale bomfya kuli ababana elo nga twalolekesha bashima na mapepo bushe abana abo bachita abuse mu cyalo ni Iris ingweka nangu bengi tamwata la mona kwa abana abo bachita abuse instead ya kufula aleshitisha tutene mbalala pamutwe elo abana beso abena kayingu nenda la malesa ali bapela bali kwata amayanda bali kwata imyoto kabali kwata tapani necho benga kabile cha kutila bali nchitile fielo nje mfule takwa becha musango fyo mchalo iyo kubana abana kasha takwa bailo ine shatala mona pwelo nde mona so ngatu alolesha kuli culture Yesu ya chalo cha Zambia culture yeka first tufile okuishiwo kweba bushe culture chinshi tufile okuishiwa culture ma ideas customs na social behavior culture nga mwaya ku India narampela example ya ku India kuti bwamona mwenyo bwamba kwene nangu alipita mufingi fi atapata aisa fula feteti bamuleke pantu kwali befunde lyakosa kwali ba law iyakosa kwaba na discipline yakosa tamwakasange kulya kuma Muslims oko omuntu alefula kumwipa ya straight pantu baishiwo kutila ala sebanya kabiri na bonse badya bakalamba mugutungulushi na mubana mapepo bonse nishibasebana so umwana before tala chite chili chonse elo chilya chalilangirira fyo kutila mulandu wakutemuisha ulupia entampiro yabu bifi bonse because kulya bali ni business ya balechita ngachako bati bana mapepo mwalanje bati afulile fye ali ku market afula umulandu wa ile frustration imbali mutila abuse kuwa iche elo alieka no tikulyo ko baile kupanga ulupia kifukula maini ilya kifukula maini ya eya lengero mwana okutila fule so tufide okubalango kwe bati uwamba te source of income ukwendo uwamba buchenda bwamba te source of income tufide okweba abana umufuma chumi not tuleba pita mumbali bakabwekesha na mairo pali uwabwekesha epo mwana wa mulozi ubu bwafya nga twabuchita protect lero tubuchite defend wala twalira mu kyalo kya Zambia ngafija na chilala na tilimbule ni sansa kalira limbe nishira muno mu kyalo kya Zambia twalikuwa tentambi ishintambi shesu tentambi shakwa abana kashukula shemibiri na ngukula shemibiri palwangala kati mu Zambia tamwa bolo lutambiyo mu Zambia mwali baba na mayo aba mutende aba chiwote aba muchinshi aba fwala bwino because if we muno mu Zambia twali colonized by aba British aba tuleteri okufwala bwino amasuti no tufwala obwamba nga twaya kuskulya ku Senegal ku West Africa ama seneta mwakataria mumona po obwamba West Africa pantu kwa diventa lo nintambisha kosa chilientambisha bwesha saka musijon teti bafwayo omuntu uli onsa shimone yo icho kwena bamayo bana mafunde twishiboko bati intambi ni intambi culture ni culture bamayo culture ni culture tie ni tusambilisha abana okwishibo kutila abana kashibutala bwapa mwinshi elo bafyashi bachamwe ochonse takuwa baina alipita mu mafia ya tapata sana ine mama chika muleka panonjike nshatala fula pona one day.
Okay.
Yes.
Definitely they respond. I know. Can you allow me to respond?
Yes, please go ahead.
So mama ngamwache ngumfweshalo nachilanda ati imwena ine kuti twabombera pamo kwafu abana ini. So ine mukulanda kwandi I'm not against you. Ine shaba against tradition. Ine I'm an upholder of tradition. Na kuno kwene kwa America naba nangu ninebo reverend community lanjita ukufunda nokutwala abana kuchupo. Meaning I am a keeper of our custom traditions very much. Elo ndefa mungu mfikisho kwebati ine I'm not against you. Ine ndelanda from a Christian perspective. Imamulelanda from a tradition perspective. And from a Christian perspective, indebomfya example yakwa Yesu Kristu iyakulangoluse. Having a compassion on these children. I'm not saying I support what she did. I'm saying it is wrong, but it's the method of correction that in the fokubomfya from the Christian perspective. Ela na imwenshire miresho okubombe nchito yenu pamonge chimbuza icha tradition. But na inewe ine mundeke mumbe nchito yandi as a Christian counselor. Ama method oyo batusambirishamo ukwafuirisha omuntu ngoyu ino mwana westulela ndapo. Ifo tulabalira first ukudiginga tufayo okuishiba. Usho yu mwana pakutira ati olo yu muntu pakuti afike pali stage ya kubefi. Elo chon defo chite respondi chikalamba. Ichine mwasa pera example ya kwebati nena alipita mufintu ifyakosa but nshafula po. Icho tufuire tuwaishi kwebati fwe bantu tuwali pusana. Kuti tuwakwata ba mukamfuirwa abali 10. But chila muntu mukamfuirwa if you allege to handle life yakwe after abalume bafwa, they respond differently, because the characteristic y'abantu n'okukosa kw'abantu kwaliba okwapusana. Yes, there are millions of people in this world abakashana abakwebati bali ba abused, but they've made it. Lero tebonse and people are destroyed forever. That's why we should even address ababe nama uncles, ama daddies, ibani abatemo kuchita abuse abana iro bali abaiche. Ukwebati, when they do that, some may never recover, some will recover, some may never recover, because people are individuals. Mwamoneni umbi kutafwisha omwana lelo, they will move on kwati omwana tafwire. Umbi akalufya omwana, but they will be broken down kwati nalimo katwishi. So I'm speaking from a chaplain's point of view. Uwakwebati ndekala nabantu abalelosha ifyabulanda fyachitika. I see different kind of reactions. Tetuwebati shipeni abalaba nenu nabashipa. No, chila muntu aliba different. So I'm not even saying, ewa naida in example na chipela, nshachebati na ichita apply kuri uwino mwana westulela ndapo. It may not even be the case with her, but nachilala ndafyo kwebati, it's better to sit down with her and find out her story. That's why in a Palwandi, I want to sit down with her and start beginning to talk to her and also help her to become a diamond that she already is, to realize that she's a diamond and not a stone.
This is a powerful conversation with a wonderful mothers here. Let's take a commercial break, and we are going to take a legal direction on this. We have a lawyer amongst us. She's going to help us understand what the Constitution says. Welcome back, everybody. You are watching ZSB-TR TV, and we are discussing fashion, tradition, and human rights. You all know now, you are up to date, everybody, about what created this storm. And we are honored to have Dr. Nyendwa with us, Mama Chikamoneka, Chipasha Kapasa, who is a lawyer, and my co-host here, Kasuluba, who's joining us. Chipasha, you are not just a lawyer, but you are a young lady. I have these questions for you. What does the Constitution say? What does the Zambian law, what does the Zambian Constitution say about, what are we saying, indecent exposure? Because the case given against the individual we're talking about is indecent exposure. Let's just say the case is in court, and I want us to be careful how we talk about this. You did caution me about this before the show. We came on the show. What does the Constitution of Zambia say about issues of morality? You can respond. Okay. Chipasha is having technical problems. Kasuluba, you've heard our two mothers here speaking. What's going through your mind? You're on mute. What? How come Mama Chikamoneka is not having technical issues? What are your comments about what our mothers are saying?
It's a very interesting discussion. First of all, Ganita, the two views as well from Mama Chikamoneka, bringing in the traditional side, which is very vital and very important. Also, the Christian side being brought in by Mom, Dr. Naomi Nyendwa. I'm listening to this, obviously, and I'm looking at things as a young man. And as the show is going on, lots of thoughts are going through my mind, and then I'm learning and all that. But then my question, I think my first question would go to Reverend Nyendwa, and I'll say, you gave your take based on the Christian side and of things, obviously, but then many have argued to say, as Zambia, we come out and we say we're a Christian nation, but then our deeds generally do not depict such, meaning that there are things that we do, even publicly as well as behind closed doors, that are not of a Christian nature. Therefore, someone, if what someone decides to do is okay with them, because there are other things that are happening in the nation that are not Christian-like, that we do not look at. Because we might, for example, we might say, okay, and the way that Iris, for example, dressed, and we're going to condemn that, but there are other things that are happening. There's people say Zambians are hypocrites. We, the same ones that are saying we're Christians, we are the hypocrites. We are the most corrupt.
I'm one of those who says Zambia is a hypocritical country. I am one of those.
Exactly, you see? So already there's hypocrisy, but there's hypocrisy, and that same hypocrisy, even from the church. They say even the church, they're hypocrites and all that. So now, why single out how someone decides to dress?
Exactly. So I'll answer that. You see, sin is sin, and you address each problem as it presents itself. Right? When I was in Zambia, I was an advocate for gender-based violence. I was on a lot of radio talk shows, which was sponsored by the Christian Council of Zambia. I participated in that because if you are Monica at that time, the gender-based violence, this one has killed the wife, this one has killed the husband. So that was the problem that we needed to address at that time, and we talked about that problem. So this time, problem we are Monica ni ya mwana wesu. So now my sister here, she says Kurina Umbi. There's another one who has done the same. So we are now addressing this problem as it presents itself. So yes, there's a lot of hypocrisy in the church, and we as clergy, we need to address each problem as it presents itself. Even our messages, they have to be, contextualized to address the problems as they address themselves in the nation. So that is my response to that.
Before Mayo Mary comes in, you see, in a problem, everybody watching is this. Baka Pokola responded after I am public arena, muchintu wingi. Bali abantu tulanda ati again aba homosexual, they can't even go in the public arena. I know it's against the law. Umukashana na kwa tama technical problems here. I wanted that to help us understand what the law of Zambia is saying. So maybe amafunde amuchalo tayaba clear pali issue, because umuntu can't keep making the same mistake or doing the same thing. No homosexual will go public in Zambia because they know they will be stoned, they will be whatever, and everything else. That's why my argument of hypocrisy comes in Palwandi. this is not the first time she's doing this. And there is a problem. There is a disconnect. And I agree with you, Dr. Nyendo. There is a disconnect somewhere. Mayo chikamoneka. Shimotumine any phone muikale panshi no mukashano.
I have a question for Mama Chikamoneka.
Let her respond to my point. Mayo, muikenyu mukashana muikale panshi.
Kwena, hii problem tukwete mchalo cha Zambia ni problem hii kalamba sana. Taimi ni Nepali ya iriska ingweka.
No.
Zambia yasanguka kwati ni Babylon yumusumba. Ulio baona wile kuli bafilende muri 7 days. Ino Zambia efyo ili kwati ni ili emisumbe ya Bible. Sodoma na Gomora. Israel omusumba ukubika pona ula wino musumba wa Babylon. Ishimi sumba shaona wilwe umulandu wa bafilende. Ngamwamona ichalo abakashana batampo ku chitefi nishimwishi byoko bati ichalo tachapalwe. Bantu na mayo ngalefula ku chalo nishale shikule chalo. Na mayo nangufidi munga ndemo tuikala ngole shalo buneke kubana nishule shikula bana. Ulolutambi. Bali kanya bali binda. So, ukufula fye kwa na mayo kuchalo, nishi atipe chalo. Zambia is a Christian nation. Zambia chalo chabena Christo. Abena Christo, Zambia was declared as a Christian nation in 1991 by Frederick Chiluba. He declared this nation as a Christian nation because kwali bashima pepwa batuntulu. Noti aba bashima pepwa bengi tukwete Mzambia bakabepa wiminini ba magician bakabepa standizo na bafula. Elo Chiluba pa kuchita declare Zambia as a Christian nation. Shilelanda kuli bana mapepo kwata ama UCZ ba CMML ba ama church ya kale ya ema church eyo na ishibaini. No ayama church yes shile isula muchalo cha Zambia aya bakabepa wiminini. Na bena na bachita contribute kubona ushwa chalo cha Zambia. Ichalwe chale ikwanga bena Kristo. Icho bachile declare Zambia as a Christian nation because if wafweba le kula muri yenkulo. Takwali buchinkala bwamba iyo. Takwali buchenda bwamba. Bachiru babaloleshe pafyo abena Zambia bakwato mutendene chibote. Elo ba muchinchi, elo tabafu anefingi. Abena Zambia bali ichefya. That's why he declared Zambia as a Christian nation. Nomba, bushe Zambia na lero ni Christian nation. Mulechi tike fintu ifya kutinga walolesha watamba ine balantumina. Balantumina. Nibuli ya bushiku umupongoshi. Umupongoshi umufyala, umupongoshi alala naba pongoshi bakwa baume. Na kwata nefu muni Zambia kulechitika. So ngachakwe bati twaikala tondolo, tapali abala umfwa. Kaili bonse bekala tondolo. Nangwifine mwanji pushotila nji muite ulio mwana. Na lamu itashani liba bengi. Abalefu aiko kubombera pali uyu mulimo. Bantu abali mu government. Bantu ububu afya bukachita affect bena abali mu government. Tabu akachita affect ne Mama Chikamoneka na bana mapepo abo bekeri hapa. Ni bena abala affected. Icho nalala ndilati bala affected kuli aba kashana inamba ile kula. Balanda timbule sansa. Talila limbe mishira nga baba 200 baba filende tamwa bakunte Zambia bala wisho musumba echo tufiri okulolekesha hapo ba mubuteko bwa basata bali landire pali indecent dressing bali kenye basata bali bindire ichine fwa ikapa Mzambia ukukoshe efunde nga chako batimwa ifunde byali suminishiwa mu constitution ya chalo nangula mu lupapulo lwa chalo yali amafunde ayabola ali mu lupapulo lwa chalo bafunyemo because twachite tola letu ubupuba na kabiliyo ubu akutila abana kashukuya sanka bafinkala bwamba na umbi ali fula mailo na aili siabako bwini pantu na kwata net uyo ali fielo lolu kairi ichalu bene sana ubu teko bwa bakapenya mushi bwafumile eba penesho mushi eba shaba penya abana bonse ba penya nabakashana umulandu wa mapia Lidia baile isule bank paria ngatule akulusaka pali pa John Chinena epo baile isula Bank of Zambia elo nomba bachimona bakashana ati nomo a source of income nomba bonse bala fula fie inena alikwata ma evidence aingi mfoni bala ntumina kai bali shatinda kanya so bala ntumine file chitika na batata bashichansule nyemo bali abafyasha bakalamba aba ya pango tubungwe utwakula tamba bakashana efu bale pukunyembo kochi na alikwata ma videos so date tumwito yo iriska ingweka tani yeka bali abengi kuti chatu shupa elo ineshkweti amaka abengeta babakashana ma ministers ba minister ba ku information na ba minister ba ku gender bafuile babombele pali ubu bwafya bufuile okupwa mchalo cha Zambia. Thank you.
Sure. Let's try to see Chipasha, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can, loud and clear. Thank you.
Okay, so talk about the law and the constitution of Zambia on this matter.
All right, I am constrained to make very direct comments about the Iris issue because I heard, I don't have facts to myself, like proven facts, but what I heard was she was taken to the police. So I don't know if the matter has proceeded to court or not. And if it has, I'm very constrained to comment on the matter because that would amount to contempt. You cannot discuss a matter that is in court. So I'm just going to give a general overview of what the law looks like in terms of relation.
You are breaking up.
So from what I read in the news, of course, the news did not talk about the law under which she was charged, but they just said does not.
Okay, Chipasha, your line is not working. Kasulova, please, let's try to see if we can help her to get this resolved. Mayo, kulili pushweli, vaneli valetila. Now that you have identified that there is a problem, my question to Mama Chikamonica is, what solutions can she offer to combat this? Now we to identify problem. What solutions, what direction should we go?
Go ahead.
Since ubu wafya bule kula, elo no kukula na bukula. Inecho ningatemwa kutina afuilisha ko abama ministers na chilala ndapo pantwe bakwete sana amako kuchilaine. Nga banchita involve kutila Mama Chikamonica seni mtu wafweko uku making sure kutila abakashana muchalo cha Zambia bachinja kutina bapela 1 month kuti bamo no bupusano bulipo no bupusano bwinga bako.
Okay.
Na ama church na yena nga chakutila tuwabombela chapa mongefya chilanda bana mapepo kuti chabo chatwafa sana kulia baba nabaka sana muma chechi kubya ma programs aya kufunda abana pama morals ifya kukonka ama do's na ma don'ts pantu na lalanda so ama chechi bala tampo kufunda abana ukuishiba ubuntu chinshi pantu leselo apango omuntu alipango omuntu muchata chakwe alipusanya obuntu kubwina nama ubuntu mwali befya kukonka ubuntu mwali bama limits umwakupelela nama do's nama don'ts ayama programs yana yafuile fe yakose mchalo cha Zambia ichi obana bale chitilefi takwa baba kubalunga mikoko batwala munshire isuma bali bulira because na bana mayo bonse na bona ikamchalo ka bana mayo abakulunga ine bale upwa kutwa ichie bale Twitter to benten efi ni muchalo cha Zambia mukamfiri wanga afiri washana na mapia kuya upaka naka nono era bale muitatika benten kumushitire niyotoka so ichalo chiri fye chimfulumfulu ni church no buteko ubuteko buko shefunde aba fyashi na ifo kumayanda tuko shefunde because nga kwaliba abantu abenga ko shefunde lyakosa ni government government iko shefunde nga fila bako shefunde kuba nensu ku India umwenye tete opwe kumwina Zambia tete bamuleke chinshi chale ngati bakonke lifunde ni government yako shefunde ku China ulio mwana wesu mulumendo uwaile ku China aya upa alenda ka girlfriend ka akamu Chinese bamuipe same day chinshi chabelele fila lifunde so ichilefuaika government ya chalo cha Zambia iko shefunde na discipline ibeko ififintu fibiringa tuafikwata mchalo cha Zambia nishi chalo cha la kontoloka buli yabushikuna ile ku cemetery kuchingola road mukushika abana babusholu buli mu cemetery ukutampo kukoma nama yalama piki bembirako nama shovel mwali milopa elo nalolesha elo naisa ingirira mona no ichilelenge fi muchalo cha Zambia abana aba balifye bwino no batabakweta bakubika munshire isuma aba kubafunda ama morals aba kubafunda amafunda yakwe bati umuntu pakuya mukushika kwali ba respect akala ile bya twale kula ifo muri bakaunda boarding aireisa kwiminina nemi yotoka kwiminina no mamuno muzambia mulandu wako batifunde tamuli mwalasanga accident mwali mon accident umuntu ufile causing accident ne chitumbi kufira kuma panto akaleta kwale ba accident na basenda body ya accident takwali mumanda bakashana besu abanga nabafuala ama mini nabafuala obwamba mukushika nabafuala ama polaroid nabapente chakuti nabafuala amala na nenkopyo kwati firu wifile vyaleka pamwa okay bushekanshi chalo cha Zambia chile akwi ichilefuaika uteko kubika pwefunde no kusambilisha no kutila ichalo cha Zambia chali kwa tente ambisha iko tatuachia adopt western culture ukuileta mchalo chesu yo lesa pa kupango bubumba bwa kwa lesa apange fyalo fya basungu apanga ne fyalo fya Africa abasungu walikuwa tente ambishabo na ifatu walikuwa tente ambishesu lekeni tubonfye tente ambishesu mchalo cha Zambia Zambia ni Christian nation il y a legacy ya shaba chiruba ifuile yai minina gafia fine balanda Zambia is a Christian nation and we are one Zambia one nation umwana uli omulozinga na fula inene mubemba mfuile na mukalipira because we are one Zambia one nation tatuwalekia bano kula fula muchalo cha Zambia yo umulifwe bakalamba bakweta mano bali abana nakashibalesa mukona ula nomba aba imiti kula empanga bale onaika baka muna kwati ni nomu apape neta bala fulana sana bafile okuishwa kutila ukufula temo winga la pangile ndalama fingi fya kuchita.
That's very true.
Ukufula temo winga pangile ndalama yo.
That's what Uncle Gregory is agreeing with you. Ukwendo wambate source of income.
No, it's not. Elo ndakalipa bantu ine mwanji nyumu tuwala kalipa. Ula kalipa. Bana mayo nga bale fula mchalo. Na tukwata ba first lady. Na tukwata ba vice president. Tabafu iyo kufula mchalo cha Zambia. Nishibale sebanya bonse. Echo tufuidio kuishiba. Bale sebanye chalo. Filia file ba Kenya ba aka inde ichile mokutila. Homosexuality mu Zambia no. Efyo bafuile no kufunyeshiwi. No mo buchinkala bwamba. Buchenda bwamba. Bu Babylon misumba mu Zambia. Bako mfu abana. Pantu ishwirika kumakuli P1 bakatina. Lesa takapale chalo cha Zambia. Imi belenga taichinjishi. Ababa naba nono sana. Abako batikuti tu abakontolola. Inete timba kontololi abana bali. Pantunga mwana mituminen bantu kakumbali eti mutego. Bala tumensere shipine shitali. Nesha konka. Tinshule anjina.
In fact, you know what? If I feel Dr. Nyendo, everybody here, Chipashaka Silva, everybody watching, there are so many pictures I wanted to bring here. I wanted to bring a lot of pictures here. I just didn't want people to think I'm looking at pornographic what and I'm enjoying these things. I wanted to bring a lot of pictures here. One of the things that is happening is what Patricia is saying here. Let me put this up here. The effect of social media. We are one global community. What was once outside Zambia is now in Zambia. Patricia, and I was telling this to a friend, Mayo. You get a social media, a friend requests for Facebook. Watch to accept. Do you know the next thing I'm receiving?
Pornography.
Mayo. Immediately, if you watch to accept friend request, boom, back to me with my pictures. Anyway, Chipasha is here. I don't want us to go away without hearing. What, Dr. Nyendwa? Immediately you accept a friend request. The next thing you get, boom, you are hit with
pornography.
With pornography. Yeah.
Yes, so one thing we should realize, if we're not we are in one generation. Abana besu, they are in another generation. Ama problems to are facing ifwe. Tell you abana besu bale facing and they feel never under by Patricia. Our children, they are exposed to too many things globally, which us we were not exposed to if we were actually protected, because our president Bakaunda, even the movies that he allowed to show on TV, they were censored. Ngapadiama scenes that you know, they were censored. So as a result, we enjoyed watching TV as a family. Ukwa embarrassed. These days, it's very difficult to watch a movie naba anapamu. Because while I'm embarrassed, next thing Palaisa is safe if you are muselu. So having said that, they needed to know they can't be copycats of what is happening in other parts of the world. Let's see, why can't they copy like the royal family? Whichever adimona Queen Elizabeth family yabwe for bafwala. So, why can't we copy good things? Why should we only copy those bad things? Why should we be influenced more by those things that are destroying our culture than those things that are enhancing our culture? So, the thing about choices, God has created us human beings with the freedom to choose between good and bad. You know, so I want to go back to mental illness. What is mental illness? Mental illness, simply defined, is imbalance. Simply imbalance. Ichintunga chafuma out of the balance, that becomes mental illness. You see? So whether kuria ngawaladi yasano kuchira muchipimo, that could be associated to mental illness, you know. Hello, abantu abalwala mental illness here, attention disorder. They are called narcissists. Those people butterfly attention, and they will do anything to get that attention, you know. So it is called a mental illness. Yeah. It's a disorder. You know, attention disorder. People will do anything attention. Attention beyond what you already have. You know, so those are the things we need to start looking at. You know, mental illness in Zambia needs to be seen as ubulwele. Just like we have seen suicide na ifula sana Zambia, there are a lot of suicide cases. Suicide is associated to mental illness. Yeah. So I would advocate for mental illness to be taken seriously by our government. They are human beings just like us. You know, abantu nangwana kwata mental illness, they fail to come out because of the way we treat them in Zambia. Umuntunga nalwala cancer, we are compassionate tulaba kumbatila. But umuntunga kwata mental illness, we insult them, we push them away. So mental illness is a sickness just like any other sickness. People need to be going to China mangana kwata mental illness and receive umuti kwaliwo omuti uwafirisha abantu to create a balance in the brain. Like I said, mental illness simply explained is simply an imbalance. Like abantu abakwata bipolar. Bipolar simply means that the right side of the brain or the left side of the brain imbiaba more than the other side. So if your muntu nomba limbi character yakwe nangu attitude yakwe aisafumina mushila imwe yakwe bati alapa pusha abantu. That is mental illness. So let's begin to look at mental illness as a very serious thing that needs to be tackled also from the government level.
Like yeah, you are both echoing that point. Let's try to see if we can get
mental illness. Kwena ine ndi against ifya mental illness. Umulandu wakutila ababa kashana echo musangire ine mama chikamunika chakwe bati. Filya balanda ati ukutemuisha kwandalama entuntuko ya fiance. Ababa kashana bu celebrity wabo nangu bu slay queen wabo. Ebule lengo kutibale HTF. Ni competition ya kufula. Pakati palya bali chita invite Babylon mukalamba muisamba ya chalo. Zodwa wabantu. Na kosele pofina zodwa wabantu taisema muchalo cha Zambia. Kwali nabale lemba ama comments zodwa wabantu walaiso chepe mno Zambia. Ifatu walaisa tukuchimfye. Pali ayama gwamba yowe ifa mno Zambia tule kuchimfya. Na kosele pofye vaka nyokwisa kwa zodwa wabantu. So, iyi mama mweba fyashi ugandi ite mental illness. Ubu nifili balela ndokutila imbala maba kashana bali batumpika nempiye shingi muri buteko bwafumine. So bale mona kwati ni nomo. Tabalu wala batuntulu. Tabalu wala na mfi pano no batuntulu ababana sana 100% batuntulu. Nangu wapela sefe atulaikati katapia menchita batape balakana batuntulu. Icho balefu aya ni bu celebrity na bu slay queen.
Na bu slay queen.
Ngakwa tekene shoku banakilishati. Yo na bapena. Bala chitwala mnivya finero bala pena mo. Kaitwala beba tina bapena. Batuntulu mula ndo akutemwisho rupia. Thank you.
Okay. Let's try. Chipasha, are you there? Chipasha, can you hear me? Kasuluba, ask your question to Mama Chikamonika. You said you had a question.
Yes, I am.
Okay, Chipasha is here. Chipasha is here. Okay, let's go back to Chipasha.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Go ahead and say what you need to say about the Constitution and the law of Zambia.
All right. So, as I was saying earlier,
we can't hear you. You broke up.
Can you get you to see if it in terms of connectivity? Can you?
No, Kasuluba, go ahead. Ask your question to Mama Chikamonika as we conclude the discussion. You are on mute.
I think most of the points have really been tackled. But for me, what I wanted to say was, is it, ngeke ba mama bacho bakulanda ukuba kwena nafiba ifya kumfuika lelo bambya abantu ofu bale bakulanda afya kwebati nishi Iris ngabo wakuchite chintu chino elo chiba kwati nomba kichalo chonse elo chaima kula bana bambi abachite fya kuposta okufuade fya shani lelo takubokulanda po sana. So Emma questions yadeva ayakwipushwa wenu.
So in other words, you're trying to say there is an element to be selective in the way this issue is being dealt with, or
yeah, because
what I can answer that one. The thing is, when muntu ngani webo celebrity, I believe in celebrity. Is she a celebrity?
She is.
Yeah, abantu mayo bali kwata ama followers per social media close to 1 million.
So when muntu nga waba celebrity, it means that abantu bakalakulanda pokaidi nombani webo celebrity. And as a celebrity, you should choose what kind of impact you want to make in the world. You know, so we want our Zambian celebrities to represent Zambia well. We want our Zambian celebrity to represent our Zambian culture and traditions well, to represent Zambia as a Christian nation well. Just because you are a celebrity, then you want to represent Zambia in a different way, which we do not accept as Zambians. So if you're Mwalanda, it's because she's a celebrity, and because she's a celebrity, we will talk about her as a celebrity. Nga muntu fya shiri celebrity, na ye nakuti tuwalanda na nkwe fine pa level yakwe. Nomba udia alipa higher level, she's a celebrity. So she will be discussed as a celebrity.
Na inende fokulanda pomkwai, pafya
poseni pona mama.
Wesuka suluba. If you are lando kwati, chamaneka kwati, Iris kaingweka. Eo tuwachita fe target mchalo. Inema machika moneka nshachita fe target eka Iris kaingu. Mwali umfofu na kalipile mtale Mwanza, lilia ile na half shoulder, kuchilio chaba kaunda. Na limu kalipila, wonse mwali imona ile video. So, teo tulela ndapo eka. Erwe chibe mbachilanda ati, changa base kowa cheru.
Amen.
Bimita mwishi yo upilibulo. Changa, base kowa cherwa changa. Uku konsema alipoku ibama cables. Pashala fye cable imo. Ulio wa isa iba cable imo. Changa bala ikat. Mwa mfuaini wa yama. So, ubu wafya wabu celebrity. Uli mchalo cha Zambia. Tabu emena mfye pano. Ni bonsi aba naturelanda. Nga tureka lipila umo. Nishtureka lipila bonsi aba bafinka la wamba mzambia. Bachenda wamba bonse. Evo tuleva. Tatuleva eka Iris kaingu yo. Ni chifyecho tuwalanda pali Iris. Iris alifula. Kwa isa konko you know mbo wa last to you. Uyuwa ishiresha tuta road pa msebo. Uyuwa ishiresha skuwa laini palo angalakati. Mwalimu muna. Batraina tuwalimu kalipila.
Tatwa mwene kono kumona ero fimbi tetinte mwene okufimona but it's enough ukumfu afeko fofine.
Kama social media mama. Icho ningalanda fet bafunyeko bazikta tapade echo balechita. Because fiance fifile chitika fila muri bazikta. Ero bazikta bafimona, bafitwala paluanga lakati. So bazikta bale fonenda la meshalutu. Muchago. It's better baisala. Tatulefo yokula tambe fya bwelewe. Muchago cha Zambia. Uko na ulaba. Uyo mukashana ndela ndapo Debora mwana wesu muno mwine mundeki. Mwana wesu kuno kuinenjikala kukitwe. Aisa fula fienali fula fiance. Aisa shana nani kale panshi. Na suwa line pamsebo. Na bakolwenga bambo kufyala bala fisa ko ifipata. Mwati ni ifipata balera nga Mzambia. Ukufunda mwana kufika poba mayo. Aba bantu na balubali. Kamba lekeni nande kwe chintu chimomwe bafyashi mwe bali kubulaya.
Mkwai.
Mwebe na bulaya. Muli culture, mwali bana na identification. Umuntu aleshibi kwatu uyu mwina Zambia. Mweba bakuma bulaya bala mishiba mumichitile yenu, nensoselo shenu, no kuichefya kwenu, bala mishiba bwangwati, you are Zambians. Mula ya mukuiminina kwa chalo cha Zambia culture ija. Mula sendo muchinshi, ni mwa baba eya mkwai. Muli bwanji tuli bwino. Mwali bya buteti kabotu, mwali atu ali abama. So, ulio muchinshi muya mukuiminina kwa chalo cha Zambia. Nga tuwaleta aba ku Congo kuli Mobutu tubeshibira kwisa Mzambia identity yabo tubeshibira kumifwalile dress code n'abafuwalile fitenge bwino ama Nigerians tubeshibira kuli dress code nomba muno muchalo chesu cha Zambia tamwa bechi shibiro yo nga baya kulya kumabwamba kuya suiting environment bakano kuyakisa represent ikyalo kyabo kuyalanga ekyalo kyabo imifwalire isuma n'emyendere n'emibeere fyonse balabako so iki kintu kirefuaiko okwikala n'obuteeko panshi tutangireni ko programu na baminisita balekana apa bakesi apa tukabebe fyo bafuire okulolekesha pa bana kashi tabateke mwinwe ekyalo kya Zambia bana mayonga balefula lishiku napwisha mkwai.
There's something I wanted. Somebody mentioned what's her name? Mentioned the Mutare Mwanza. Let me show you something that she posted on social media here. And Chipasha is still, I know we're having technical problems, but I still want you to say something. Okay, everybody, you see that?
Prostitution is a source of employment, Mutare Mwanza.
Chipasha, is prostitution legal in Zambia? Next week, we'll be talking to Dr. Nevas Mumba. I want him, Dr. Nevas Mumba. These are some of the things I want him to address. We're going to talk about corruption, combating corruption. We're going to talk about the prosecutor in New York has found what's the name of the copper company, whatever. Are they still going to continue to operate in Zambia? The American government has found them with a case to answer, and all those things. This is our show for today, ladies and gentlemen. We shall end here for today. Unfortunately, we're not able to get a comment from our legal expert. She's been having technical problems, but we shall give another opportunity. Mayo, mama chika moneka.
Mkwai.
Na totelanganshi on behalf of Bonsabale Tamba, Muisonde mu global community to totela mayo. I know you are.
Na ine na totela sana. Na ine na tasha sana.
Na nami itageni mukabwela teft.
No problem, takuli ubwafya Mkwai kai tule afwana mchana. Abale mfo hii program bengi.
Sana. Bengi bonse. Dr. Nyendwa, thank you. Always special, and you're always there for me when I ask.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
I do appreciate it. My good friend Kasuluba, mempepo yenu yo mulebe peshempepo kuzambia okole Kenya. I mean, now I'm quite my issues. You don't stop talking about being cold and everything else, and deal with the issues that you need to deal with. Chipasha, we are under the pampepo. Yeah, social media now later country. Chipasha, unfortunately, your connection is not very good. It's a pity we couldn't hear what you had to say. Thank you for taking the time. Everybody else, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next weekend, same time. We'll be talking to Dr. Nevas Mumba.
Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Zambia Blog Talk Radio.